What's up, it's you for today's video with a full Hydreigon team. Phantom, this one is for you. So, Hydreigon is a pretty cool dragon Pokemon. I know it's some favorite of a lot of people. And I'm going to be doing 6 different movesets for Hydreigon today. And this team was actually kind of difficult to do because of its big weakness to fairy Pokemon. So, you'd have people going like Terra Fairy turn 1 or leading with, you know, a fairy Pokemon, so it made it very, very difficult, but I got some really cool battles, and I hope you enjoy. What do you guys think of Hydreigon? Is it your favorite Pokemon ever? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Tell me all about it in the comment section. First battle here, we have a random battle. I'm not sure of my opponent's name, but their Urshifu is going to get clapped turn 1. Now, this is probably one of my better Hydreigons here. It is a Eject Pack Hydreigon. So we got Draco Meteor, Hydro Pump, Fire Blast, and Focus Miss. Max Special Attack and Max Speed, Timid Nature. It is going to be Terra Type Fire as well. I felt it was appropriate for any Ice-type Pokemon, and it wasn't bad for any Fairy types as well. When they go and use a Fairy-type move, then you could go Terra Fire. Alright, so we got a Kottmeistern coming in here. It's going to try and go for its little collision course. I managed just to live that, only just, and I managed to get a Draco Meteor to land, and that is the end of Kottmeistern, which is great, because Kottmeistern was a mega counter for my team. As was any Pokemon that was just faster than Hydreigon that had a super effective move. It was really easy for the opponent to beat this team. So I had a lot of times where I'd beat one strong counter, but only for them to have like, you know, 1 or 2 easy counters in the back and win without doing a lot. So that's 2 Pokemon down. Now we've got another counter, which is Chiam Power. So I'm like, wow, they just keep coming here. Now, Eject Pack ejected me out, and I've got this Hydreigon. It's a PIMPNITE special set, and it's a troll set too. And I know this surprised you very much. So we're going to be paralyzing the Chiam Power. Let's have a look at this set. We got Dank Pulse, Headbutt, Rock Slide, and Thunder Wave. So we're going for like a Parafusion flinching set. And I got a Bright Powder Mist. That was my item, which is really cool. This one is going to be Max Attack and Max Special Attack. And we've got Terra Normal. Obviously, all of them have got Levitate as the ability too, you know, obviously. And Naive Nature. So that's the end of Chiam Pow. It powered out of this battle. Next Pokemon's going to be Kyogre. Obviously, it's probably going to be, a Choice Specs or Choice Scarf set. Very, very powerful. So I thought, you know what? I'll go for the Thunder Wave and paralyze it. So I got to paralyze on the Kyogre, which is good because obviously it's going to go for an Ice Beam. So that's in a Hydreigon. Quality performance there, taking out some very, very powerful Pokemon. Next one, we got a Hydreigon number 2 here. Now I've got Draco Meteor and I've got Focus Blast. So I thought, I've used my Eject Pack up. Let's go for Draco Meteor. Draco Meteor misses. I'm like, oh, that sucks so much. Then they went for Hydro Pump. I was like, what? I thought they'd go for like Origin Pulse or, you know, maybe Water Spout, but, you know, that didn't happen. So next turn, I landed Draco Meteor. Good damage. It seems to be more of a sweeping set, you know, due to the damage that I did to it. And here comes the Water Spout. So that is the end of Hydreigon. Only a little bit of health left anyway. And, you know, even when Kyogre has half health, Water Spout is still very, very powerful. So that is the end of 2 of my Hydreigon. It's got leftovers as the item too, so maybe a slow, bulky set. So Hydreigon number 3. Let's have a look at this. So we got a PIMPNITE special here. We got Fire Spin, Tri Attack, Protect and Substitute with a Grip Claw, right? I actually had some pretty good battles with this. So we got Max Health and Max Speed, Timid Nature, started off with. Terra Steel. So the idea here was to trap the opponent and do damage to them with Fire Spin and then maybe, you know, get a Scumbag Paralysis or Freeze or, you know, whatever. But in this case, it was already paralyzed earlier on, so I thought I might be able to get rid of it. So I'm going to go for Tri Attack here. It's not doing very much damage. Kyogre actually managed to get an Ice Beam off, and I lived that very, very well. But I got frozen, so at this stage, I just had to let it go, you know. Now this is pretty funny, right? Because Hydreigon, how is this possible, right? It's still floating in the air. Like, what's going on? Like, why hasn't it hit the ground? There's no reason. Like, there's literally no reason for it to be floating. It doesn't have rockets underneath it. You know, it's nothing's hot. It doesn't have balloons. Like, what's going on here? Anyway, we got a paralyze here on the Hydreigon. Koga is going to get that. It's got leftovers, so I need to thaw out here. I really do. Otherwise, I'm going to faint. I was like, maybe I can win this with Fire Spin and I get paralyzed. Wait, can I get a win if I'm frozen? And I got frozen this turn as well, which is very unfortunate. And Koga does manage to get an Ice Beam off here and faint me. I was so close. I was so close just to winning there while being frozen. So, that's 3 Pokemon down, and Koga is on a small amount of health now, so I should be able to take this one out pretty well. Who's your favorite Dragon-type Pokemon of all time? You guys know mine. It's Dragonite. Is it Hydreigon? Is it Garchomp? Let me know in the comments. Now, this set was pretty cool. So this was a Choice Banded Hydreigon. And I actually had some really, really good battles with this, and it took a lot of people off guard too. So we're going to go for U-turn there. It's max attack and max speed, Choice Banded, and we have Jolly Nature. So Kygo's down. Next Pokemon is going to be Petrance. I'm like, this is going to be difficult. Now, I've got a physical Dragon Dance Hydreigon too. It's Scale Shot, Stomping Tantrum, and Lash Out. The cool thing I like about these 6 Pokemon teams is I get to show off sets that you wouldn't see. You'll see the standard set for the Pokemon, but you also get to see other sets that are interesting to see on there too. That might have some, surprise use too. So I got Poisoned here, and Poison Puppeteer is going to activate, which sucks. So that happens when I get poisoned, and then that ability kicks in and confuses you, which is really, really annoying on a physical set. So I've got Stomping Tantrum, and I've also got Lash Out. Lash Out obviously is going to be my best attack here. Now, I was thinking to myself, even with a +1 in attack, right, Petron's got a massive, massive, fat defensive stat. So I'm probably not going to do, probably half health or something like that. And now it's going to go for a Terra Poison. So that's going to make it, it's going to make it neutral now. But however, my 3 heads hit themselves in confusion, I guess, Dojo, and they're going to go for a Malignant Chain again. That's a good thought. I haven't actually done a 3-headed Pokemon team for nearly 10 years. Maybe I should bring that back. Maybe that's a good team to redo again. What do you guys? Would you guys like to see that? What Pokemon have changed since then? I'm trying to think what new ones there would be, apart from, of course, Bug Trio. Oh my goodness. So we're going to bring in the Special Hydreigon. This is the best Hydreigon set you can possibly use in singles. So this one is Terra Steel Hydreigon. We have got Nasty Plot, Dark Pulse, Flamethrower on there, and we've got Terra Blast Steel. Now, I also like to run Ockerberry on there as well, because you can get around a Fairy-type move with it. Ground won't affect you due to Levitate, and then when someone tries to go for a fire move on you, you've got Ockerberry to to sponge that fire attack, and it works really, really well. So the last Pokemon they've got is going to be the homie Solgaleo. They're going to go for Sunsteel Strike, not Scumsteel Strike, and that's going to take out Hydreigon number 69. But I've still got one more left. If you remember, I've still got that Choice Banded set. So we got that, and we've got Crunch on here. So yeah, Crunch, this is good. We outspeed that Lion, and that is going to be the end of the battle. So a solid W to start off this video. That was a sweaty team as well. Thank you to my random opponent. I'm not sure what their names are. If you guys want to translate, that'd be absolutely awesome. Let's get on to battle number 2 here. This is a battle, random battle. This one's against Moosh, I think it was. And we got a shiny Mew. So I've got Dark Pulse and the flinching set, right? But I don't really want to paralyze, because if I do go for that, Thunder Wave on the Mew, Synchronize will kick in and then it'll paralyze me. So I thought I'll just go for damage here. Excellent damage on Mew. Now, Mew is going to be setting up a Stealth Rot, which is going to be a bit of a pain, but it's all good. I'm sure that I can get around it. Now it's going to go for U-turn. Now, this team was very, very weak to U-turn, and when I had, I did verse some teams that were prior, had 2 or 3 Pokemon that had U-turn. It was, and they were faster than me. It was difficult, man. They had such a big advantage. So that was another big weakness for this team, or any faster Pokemon as well. So in comes old Zapdos. It's going to get its cheeks clapped. I think that one did matter. Most Zapdos run quite defensive, but maybe it didn't. Maybe it was a sweeping set. So that's the end of the Zapdos. Next Pokemon's going to be Blaziken, called Sparkles. Now, this is a problem too if it's got speed boost and protect and stuff. So I figured they might go for a protect this turn, but they went for Sword Dance. So I went for Thunder Wave, and Thunder Wave is going to paralyze the Blaziken, which is good. Now, Blaziken does have speed boost, so I thought, well, I'm going to get a couple of turns here where I can go first, but then it's going to outspeed me, you know? So I've got Headbutt. I went for that. Good damage. I was hoping for a flinch, but I got a paralyze instead. So I'm like, all right, that's same sort of thing there. The problem is, after a couple of speed boosts, it's going to eventually outspeed me. So I've got Rock Slide here. I thought, well, we'll go for that one. They got paralyzed again. This time, now they're outspeeding me, which kind of sucks. They do have +2 in attack too, so I need to do some serious damage here. Unfortunately, this set's not really based on damage. It's more based on outspeeding and flinching. So then they got paralyzed 3 times in a row. I feel sorry for them there. I went for a headbutt, and I got a crit. They just got completely trolled there. I never should have won that matchup. So Blaziken is down. Out comes a Hackmon, and we've got that. So, when I get really good patches of bad luck, then it starts to worry me, because then I know a really bad patch of bad luck is coming back my way. And this is a very, very good battle to show that, right? So now they're going to go for an Ice Spinner. That's going to fate me, It's a faster Pokemon. Iron Treads is pretty quick. So that's Hydreigon now. It's like, all right, well, that's cool. I know I can live this on one of my bulky sets. And even my sweeping set should be able to live this, kind of badly. So I've got Draco Meteor, I've got Fire Blast, Hydro Pump. I was like, well, they're both the same power. Fire Blast is a little bit more accurate. So I went for Fire Blast. Here comes the Ice Spinner. I lived it pretty well, considering. I went for Fire Blast and a miss there. That easily would have one-shotted that. It's not a very special defensive Pokemon at all. So I got my bad luck there. Then you watch this, right? Then they went for Earthquake. I don't know what Herbert Mystical I won, and my Fire Blast misses again. I'm like, are you out of your mind? So then they went for Iron Hand of Fate. Even like, okay, that was definitely payback for me, getting lucky earlier on. I knew it was going to happen, right? It was just funny. They went for Earthquake during that time. So we're going to go to Hydreigon 6 here. So I thought maybe I can bait them into using Earthquake again. So I was like, let's go Terra Steel. I already know they're going to go for Ice Spinner. Flamethrower is going to do a lot of damage. Will it fake them? I wasn't really sure about that. I reckon it was going to do not at least 90% damage to them around that sort of calculation. Unless they had Assault Vessel, a bit bulky on them. So they're going to outspeed me with Ice Spinner. That's going to do nothing. That's completely fine. I'm going to go Flamethrower here. So Flamethrower does great damage, but it doesn't quite take them out. Now I've got an opportunity to go for Flamethrower again. They went for Earthquake again on the Steel type, thinking it's going to be super effective. They didn't learn their lesson there. So now I'm going to take out the Iron Tread. So finally it faints. But we still got 3 more left. We got that Mew, and they've got an Ambipom. So Ambipom's always going to have Fake Out, right? But it doesn't really bother me at all, because it's not going to do much damage, or anything, right? So I've got Dark Pulse, I've got Flash Cannon. Like, let's go Flash Cannon. It's going to do good damage. Should be a 2-hit KO. Now they're going to go for a Fake Out. They've got a normal gem, so it does a little bit more, I'd say. And I got Flinch, obviously. So it's a Technician Ambipom. So now they're going to go Thief. I didn't expect Thief, so good play there. They stole my Ockerberry. That's actually not really going to do them very much at all. They're just going to have a useless item. So now I'm going to go for Flash Cannon, and they will not be able to thieve any more items at all until the Ockerberry is consumed, which it won't be, right? So that's the end of the Hydreigon there. That was partially because I took some damage earlier on, and I got outsped, right? So we're going to bring in Hydreigon number 5. Did I do this set before? Yes, I did. This is the Dragon Dance set. So I thought at this stage, I'll go for maybe Dragon Dance and try and boost my speed. So they're going to go for U-Turn, which is a problem. That's 2 U-Turn Pokemon now, and I've used up my Terra. So in comes the Mew again. I guess I just threw this in there because I thought, well, it's already taken some damage. It's weak to an entire team of Hydreigon, so that's probably the best mon for them to throw into this situation. So I've got my speed up there. I thought, just in case, I'm going to go for Lash Out here. I don't want any moves to miss, and that is going to be the end of the Mew. My item was Loaded Dice as well. That way I could get, 4 hits on the scale shot. Last Pokemon was Whimsicott, and I'm like, oh dear. So they kept this in the back the whole time. Obviously, they were waiting for my Terra and to see what I was going to do before they send it in, right? Because this Pokemon's very, very strong against my team because, look at the damage I was doing to it. So I like how it's floating as well. So the Whimsicott is floating in the breeze. I have nothing for it. Look at this, stopping Tetra, and no, I can't do a damn thing, and I don't really want to swap out. So I went for a scale shot because I thought I'll go for that, and then I'll go for Stomping Tantrum and double base power, but they moonblasted me. It didn't really matter all that much anyway. It was worth a try. So I thought, all right, I don't have Terra left. They've got Moonblast. How am I going to get around this? Like, what am I going to do? Like, do they have lots of speed EVs? Are they relying on Prankster? What are they doing? So I swapped in my Hydreigon number 4. Now, this one was the Choice Bandit set. So they're going to go for a substitute, outspeeding me. Now, unfortunately, I went for Head Smash here. I mean, I really had to go for it because I didn't have a lot to do here outside of, like, U-turn. And I couldn't do Outrage and Crunch. I couldn't do that either. So Head Smash is going to break the sub. So I was like, okay, they're probably going to keep going for sub over and over again, right? They also have leftovers too, so that's going to be healing them up incrementally over time too. So I was going for Head Smash again. This time, I'd say they went for Moonblast, and then it lived. I was like, oh, that was so close, right? So now they're going to go for Moonblast, but I was happy. I was like, that's good. I did take some nasty recall, but that was one-shotting me regardless. So Whimsicott is in range to take out now, and I did outspeed it, which is good. And also, they can't just go for substitute, right, on this next turn. They don't have enough health left. So I brought in Hydreigon number 3 here. This was the Fire Spin Tri-Attack set. I was like, you know what? I've got Tri-Attack. I have to flank them here, right? I got to get rid of them. So I went for the Tri-Attack. I did contemplate going for a Disrespect Fire Spin, but I was like, I don't want to miss it, right? Then I was like, you know what? We're going to do it on the Ambipom, right? We've got to do it. So out comes the Ambipom here. I know it's got Fake Out. It's going to try and clap them cheeks. And it's got Thief. Like, what other moves does this thing actually have? It's going to go U-turn after that. It is super effective. So Fake Out does a lot of damage to me. I get Flinch. So I've got Fire Spin left. I was like, let's go for it, bugger it. U-turn hits me, but I live. Then I went for the Fire Spin. I was like, this probably won't kill, but I know the secondary damage will kill them. It'll be funny. And Ambipom dies to the secondary effects of the Fire Spin. And that is the end of battle number 2. Beautiful stuff there. Hope you guys are enjoying the battle so far with the Hydreigon team. Let's get on to battle number 3. All right, battle number 3 here. This one is against JK Wad or J Quad. I don't know how to say that one, but we got a Torterra lead. Now, I thought they may try and slide a Shell Smash against me, and I thought this for a little bit. I can't do Thunder Wave. I'm actually in a pretty bad spot right now. I was thinking I should go for Dark Pulse with some damage, though. So I went for that. Not too bad damage there, considering I'm not running any... On this set, I'm not really running any special attack at all. It's more of like a flinching set. So they're going to get a Shell Smash up, which is fine. And they're obviously going to have a White Herb as well. Oh, wait, they didn't. They didn't have a White Herb. They did. I don't think they had one. That's interesting. Maybe I think that it cut it out. Yeah, I think that White Herb recovery was cut out because I know that it definitely had one. Maybe it cut a little bit too early. Anyway, they're going to go for Rock Blast here. So Rock Blast is doing pretty good damage, but it actually isn't doing as much as I thought. I'm like, wow, I might be able to live this. And I did. I actually managed to live that and get another Dark Pulse off here. And that, yeah, see? So that took him out. So maybe they didn't. Oh, it must have been loaded dice. It was loaded dice. There we go. It's loaded dice. Sometimes, when the things are cut up, sometimes it's easy to cut like a little bit off there when, say an item activates. Next Pokemon to come is going to be Caramel. You guys ever had before a Caramello Koala? It's an Australian thing, right? But what it is, it's a koala made out of chocolate. I know this surprised you, right? And then on the inside, there's caramel. They're good. I used to have them as a kid. I haven't had one for like, 100 years, but maybe I should have one again. Anyway, we're going to go for a Dank Pulse here. Go for them flinches. They're going to go for Fickle Beam, and that's going to be enough to take out Hydreigon, unfortunately. But that's all good. It's just not a bad start to the battle. Now we're going to bring in Hydreigon 2 here. This has Draco Meteor, and I've got the Eject Pack. I had a feeling they were going to swap out there to get a a regenerator, and they're going to bring in their Mega Ghost, which is Dusclops. Now, Dusclops is super bulky with Everlight. So, of course, my Draco Meteor misses, so we're going to go for that again, and great damage there, so I got a crit. So I guess that kind of made up for getting 2 hits there, or at least a swap on the, a preferred swap on the Dusclops. So we're going to bring in Hydreigon 4 here. This is my physical set, and of course they went for Will-O-Wisp. I was like, oh, if only I brought in a special one, right? But then again, Dusclops commonly has Will-O-Wisp, you know? It's not a bad move for it. So I don't know whether they've got Hex or Nightshade. Both moves work pretty well on Dusclops. It's quite a passive Pokemon outside of a, you know, a fixed damage move. So I've got Choice Band Crunch, but I am burned. I thought, let's go for it anyway. Let's see what happens. So I went for that. Good damage there. And they're going to have Rest. I was like, okay, that's unfortunate. The thing about Dusclops is it doesn't really have too much reliable recovery outside like Rest or Pain Split. Like, they're not really reliable. Like, a reliable recovery would be something like Recover or Slack Off, right? So it doesn't have that, and I might be able to wear them down. This is what I was hoping for. I got a defensive drop there, which is excellent, and Dusclops is still going to be sleeping, and they're going to have Sleep Talk there. I like shiny Dusclops, it looks good. They're going to have Nightshade, so that's what they said is Nightshade, Rest, and Will-O-Wisp. So I can get another Crunch off here. They've got one more turn of sleep, but the defensive drop was enough to take them out there. So that was really good. I say they were more special defensive if I had to guess what their EVs were. Swing comes Keldeo. It is in its Resolute form. It's got its big horn, and it's going to be setting up Carmines. This is bad because I'm locked into Crunch. Now, I could have swapped out here. Sure, I could have swapped out, but how was I to know they weren't just going to use, Sacred Sword or attack me on the next incoming Pokemon? So that Hydreigon was worthless at that point, so I was happy to sack it off. So we're going to bring in Hydreigon number 3. I thought maybe I can get a Fire Spin going here. So I outsped it, which is cool, and I got the Fire Spin going. I've trapped the Keldeo in, and they're going to go Secret Sword. Secret Sword just demolishes my set. It's like, yeah, this is going to be rough. I don't know what I can do here. So I've got Hydreigon 2, Terra Fire, and I went for Draco Meteor. Draco Meteor does good damage. Nothing amazing, though, but it did pretty good damage. Then they went for a Surf. I was like, what? Maybe they expected me to go for a Terra there. Then I went for Draco Meteor again, and it didn't take them out. Unfortunately, I was hoping it would, and then they followed it up with a Terra Blast. So Terra Blast almost takes me out, very powerful, and then they won the speed tile. I was like, oh, come on. So that's it, Hydreigon number 2. So I've got 2 more Pokemon left. I've got Hydreigon number 5. So number 5 has got Terra Dragon. I've got Scale Shot. Like, this is not looking very good here. Then they went for the Secret Sword, and it one-shotted me. So there was nothing I could do in that situation. I've got 1 Hydreigon left, Hydreigon number 6. Now, I've got Terra Steel on this, and I thought, well, let's just go for attack. I might win the speed tie, and I did. I won the speed tie this turn, and I got a completely unnecessary critical hit there. So that is the end of Keldeo. There's a Hydrapple left, and we've got Sinistchar as well. So Sinistchar is like, what are you really going to be able to do to me? You know, there's not a lot here. So I went for the Terra Steel. So I thought that wouldn't be bad. It does resist grass. That could be useful, right? So I've got that Terra Steel, and I went for a Nasty Plot. So I felt like I needed that extra bit of special attack on my Hydreigon, right? They're going to go for Strength Sap. So I guess they didn't know whether I was running a physical one or a special one. And at worst case scenario, that would get their health back if I did attack. Unfortunately for them, Dank Pulse is going to one-shot them after a Nasty Plot. Next Pokemon is going to be Caramel. And Caramel is going to be their Terra Pokemon. It's going to be their Terra Pokemon. So the Terra they have on there is going to be Terra Dragon. So the good thing about this is they can't go Earth Power because I've got Levitate. They can't go for a Dragon. I mean, they can, but it's not going to be very effective. And, they'd have to hit me with, like, a Water move because Grass would be out too. The best they had there was to go for a Pickle Beam. And that's it. It was such a great counter to opposing Dragon types, especially ones that had a ground coverage move. Last Pokemon is going to be Great Tusk. Great Tusk has got that booster energy boosting up its defense. I was like, that doesn't matter. I guess maybe they've got a body press set, or they just want to make it tanky. Regardless, it's going to get dropped and rolled out, and that is the end of the battle there. So Hydreigon Team doing pretty well so far. Thank you, JK Watt, for the battle there. Let's get on to our next random battle. No idea what their name was, but this battle was funny. Like, watch this, right? So our first Pokemon to be sent out here is going to be Florgs. I need a quick drink break, people. There we go. Having some nice G Fuel. Get that code SALT, 20% off. Having some Shrek swap water. All right, so Florgs is a fairy type. I was scared of this. I was like, what am I going to do here? So I went for the Choice Banded Hydreigon Head Smash, and it dropped it. I was like, wow, that did really good damage. Like, they must have been running a sweeping set. So that's one Pokemon down. Nasty recall, right? Pokemon number 2 is Serena, so I thought, man, those legs are going to step all over me. This is bad. They're going to use Play Rough. So I've got Head Smash. I'm locked into that, and I went for it again. And it dropped it. I was like, what? So that's 2 Pokemon down. I was like, wow, I got rid of 2 good counters there. This is going, like, excellent. Now, the next Pokemon to come out here, it wasn't such a good matchup because it was Ting Lu. Now, Ting Lu, I was going to do some terrible damage and just faint myself. So I thought, are they going to go Stealth Rock on the swap? I was like, doesn't matter. Let's just swap it out. We'll go into Hydreigon number 3. Let's see what happens, right? So I swapped into Hydreigon number 3, and then they went for Ruination. I was like, oh, that wouldn't have fainted me. Maybe they expected me to go for Head Smash again or something, or maybe they figured out I was banded. So I went for the Fire Spin here. I thought that'd be a good move to trap them in, you know? Unless they've got Whirlwind. And they do have Whirlwind, so they blew me out there, and God, Whirlwind is such a ridiculous animation. It blows you for a bit. It's like an afternoon breeze. Like, come on. So anyway, guess who came back in? Hydreigon Choice Band. I was like, ooh, okay. I've got a good chance here. So I've got Outrage. I was like, well, Outrage is going to do a lot. Choice Band and Outrage. That's a good idea. I've got rid of the Fairy Pokemon. Let's go ahead and go for that. So I'm going for the Outrage here on Ting Lu. Excellent damage. Really good. Then they went for Ruination. So they had nothing to fight me with. They only had a move that did half damage. So I've now taken out 3 Pokemon with a Choice Banded Hydreigon. Only on PIMPNITE's channel, right? So that's great, but it doesn't end there, people. The salt continues. So out comes old Mario Nose here. Now, there's nothing I could do. I was like, oh, I'll just go for Outrage, break it sturdy. You know, that's probably a good idea. So I was confused here, and I didn't hit myself, and I got some pretty good damage off the Probopass. Like, that's great, you know. Then the Probopass went for Earth Power, and I had Levitate. And after that, they snapped their switch in half and salty canceled the battle. They didn't want to borrow that battle anymore. It was so salty. Let's get on to battle number 5. So Choice Band Hydreigon, it's just powerful, right? Now, our next Pokemon battle here, another random, and we got a white Kyurem lead. So this is scary stuff. So I'm going to drop that Draco there. Great damage, but they obviously invested in bulk. So they managed just to live that, which is a little bit unfortunate. So I'm going to get ejected out of the battle. I thought, well, yeah, whatever comes in here is done for, right? They're cooked. Now they're going to go for Outrage. Like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's the same result, right? One of them was going to faint. So that's the end of Hydreigon. So I thought, all right, we'll bring back in Hydreigon number 3 here, you know. This is the Tri-Attack set. Very speedy. So I took them out with the Tri-Attack. I didn't want to reveal too much of my set. Now, the next Pokemon to come out here, and this is a very, very sweaty team too, was Great Tusk. So I thought, nah, you're going to use a fighting type move, obviously. They got an attack boost. So I thought, well, maybe I could go for Tri-Attack here or Fire Spin. Well, what could I do? Maybe I should just go for the status move. So I'm going for the Tri-Attack here. It did average damage. Then they went for Play Rough and it missed. I was like, oh, that's bad. This is very, very bad. The only good thing was I was outspeeding them. Now they're going to land Play Rough, obviously. See what I mean about this team? When it's got Fairy and Dragon moves, they do not last for long. It was very easy to counter that way. So we got Hydreigon number 6 here. Now I thought maybe I'll go Terra Steel. Like if I get outsped on my other ones, I'm done, right? So I need to nip this one in the bud, right? Let's go for that Terra Steel, go for Flash Cannon and finish them off. In the end, I changed my mind. I thought, no, I don't need a Terra Steel there to take them out. I don't want to waste it just yet. You know, I may not need it. So Great Tusk is down, which is great. Then they brought in Koraidon. I'm like, oh no, this is really, really bad. This is another great counter to my team. So I thought about this for a bit. I'm like, well, I don't have a dragon move on this. What do I do? Do I sack it off? Do I go for flash cannon damage? I was like, let's go for flash cannon damage. I'll just get a little bit on there, and they'll go for their, little Timmy collision course, right? There's absolutely nothing I can do. There's absolutely nothing I can swap into. So there's no point me going Terra Steel there either. Now that I know what I'm sort of dealing with here, I'm thinking, all right, if I go into Hydreigon number 2, and maybe I could get a Draco Meteor to land here and outspeed, and I did. And that took it out, so that was excellent. The good damage I got from Flash Cannon enabled me to get that KO, because I feel like they may have had a chance of badly living that. So now I'm at -2, and they're going to bring in Dustmane. Like, this is really bad, because I've got Fire Blast, but their ability and -2, right? But I've got the Sun, so I went for it anyway, and it was pretty good damage. It was a 3-hit KO. Now they're going to go for Sunsteel Stride, and I was thinking, what EVs do you have in attack here? Let's see. I lived it, so that was excellent. So I swapped Hydreigon number 2 out, and I was like, I need that for later on. Let's go into Hydreigon number 4, tank this attack, and maybe I'll be able to take them out here. Let's see what happens anyway. So they go for this Sunsteel Strike again. That's going to be a 2-hit KO. And on this set, I have got Crunch. I thought, oh, that'll be good, or U-Turn. Both of them will be good, but I thought, I need to use Crunch here, because that's going to, that's definitely going to faint it. So I use Crunch, and Dustmane's down. Like, excellent. This is really, really good. There's 2 left. Another Koraidon appears. I'm like, oh, gee, like, there's only so much I can do, right? I'm starting to run out of, I'm starting to run out of Pokemon here, and they outsped me too. So I'm like, dang. So that's the end of Hydreigon, number 4. So I thought, all right, I've got Hydreigon number 2 here, and I've got Draco Mid. This is my only answer, and I'm going to have to outspeed and land and KO it. So I'm going for that. I do outspeed. It lands, and it takes it out. I'm like, yes, that's 2 Koraidons now. Look at this team. 2 Koraidons, a Great Tusk, Dustmane, and a Chiron White. That's heavy counters, man. Last Pokemon is going to be Terrapagus. I'm like, oh, okay. Now, I was thinking to myself, should I just stay in here and break its ability? That'd be a good idea, but I need Focus Blast to faint it, right? So I swapped it out, and I went into Hydreigon number 5. I'm like, okay, this should be okay. I should be able to live this attack badly and then attack them. Hopefully, right? Hopefully. So they're going to go for their Terra. And I was like, okay, they're not even going to use their ability. That's good, I've got Focus Blast in the day. Excellent. This is what I want, right? So they've got their health boost, and they're going to use Dazzling Gleam. I was like, oh no. So they got their Dazzling Gleam, they got their Stellar boost, and that's going to faint me. So I'm like, all right, I've got Terra Fire on my last Pokemon. I reckon there's a good chance they might go for Dazzling Gleam again. I'll go Terra Fire and go for Focus Blast. This is going to do a lot of damage to them. Like, if anything, it might even faint them too, because I am running a special attacking set, like full special attack. So we're going to go for Terra Fire, hoping for that Dazzling Gleam and hoping for that Focus Blast to land and faint. And it missed. I was like, oh, that sucks so much. Then they went for Terra Starstorm. So I don't know whether Focus Blast would have finished them there, but it would have done a lot of damage. It definitely would have done a lot. I don't know how they EV'd it or whatever, but very, very close battle. Like, way closer than that battle ever should have been, considering what they had there. So, cool battle there, and they just had a better team, right? They won by the skin of them teeth, though. Let's get on to battle number 6 here. I got 7 battles today. So we got another random opponent. Every opponent was using Great Tusk as well against this team. They always led with it, because I noticed when I did a lot of random battles, it's not much of a surprise, right? The person would always lead with either a fairy, a fighting, or a bug. Every single time. Like, they always go straight. And I even had people like Terra Fairing turn 1 and stuff like that. I'm like, bro, do you even want to challenge yourself? So anyway, we have another Koraidon here, or a Koraidon lead, right? So I dropped it with a Hydro Pump, then I went for Draco Meteor, and I got a double KO at the start. That was absolutely excellent. So getting rid of 2 fat counters to my team was a great start. Now, with the jetpack, that's going to eject me out there because I had my stats drop, which helped me out a lot of the time, too. When I had, say a Hydreigon, I did it, one was maybe expendable, I could swap that out. So, a very good start to the battle. Then we had another Dragon time. Oh, here we go again, right? So, I've got Tri-Attack. I thought, well, let's go for that anyway. Maybe I can get a freeze or something. So I got minimal damage, and now they're going to go for outrage. This is very, very, very bad. My really only answer to this is to outspeed, Terra Steel, or maybe go for a Terra that's neutral against Garchomp. But then I run the risk of getting crit, or it may even feint me still. So I've got my speedy Hydreigon here, and I land the Draco Meteor, and that's going to take out. So that's taken out 3 Pokemon so far. It's taken out half the team. Obviously, that critical hit didn't matter either. So my eject pack is now used up, which is a bit unfortunate, but that's fine. I've taken half a team out 1 Pokemon. Then they brought in Darkrai. So I thought, well, I've got Focus Blast for this. That's good, but I'm at a -2 in special attack. So I decided to go for Focus Blast anyway for some damage and a miss. I'm like, all right, well, it happens, right? And then they landed Hypnosis. And I'm like, oh, no. So now my Hydreigon is going to be put to sleep, and I'm going to get affected by Darkrai's bad dreams as well. So I was thinking to myself, what are they really going to do to me? Dark Pulse? Shadow Ball? Like, what are you going to do? Then they went for a double scumbag Hypnosis, because they thought I was going to swap into another one, but I didn't, because I had a feeling. I was like, I want to see what moves they've got. Then I woke up, which is good, and I landed a Focus Blast. Now, it didn't lack a lot of oomph, because I had a -2, but it still did pretty good damage. Then they went for Hypnosis again, so they kept spamming Hypnosis, I guess, hoping for me to swap, or maybe, you know, if I woke up. So now I've got a second Focus Blast off here, which landed, which is excellent. And they lived on 1 health, and they got a Hypnosis to land this then. So I was thinking, they're going to have to start attacking me soon. They've completely and utterly wasted this opportunity with Darkrai, right? Or they have nothing, and they're going to try and just feint me with Bad Dreams and Dark Pulse or something. I don't really know. So I'm sleeping on the job here, and now Darkrai's going to use Dark Pulse. I'm sure I had, to have that move. So I was hoping I could get a quick wake up here and feint 4 Pokemon with this Hydreigon set. I was almost out of hell, so I thought, well, I have to wake up this turn. Should I swap it out? What should I do? Wow, Hydreigon looks very majestic when it's sleeping. And then I woke up, right? I was like, let's go for Fire Blast, right? Fire Blast misses. I'm like, oh, come on. And then they went for the Dark Pulse again. But the good thing is I resisted that. So I'm able to live this turn. So I went for Fire Blast again, and it landed. This Hydreigon has taken out 4 Pokemon on its own. What an absolute unit. Now, if you are wondering, I have done a Hydreigon sweep as well. I'll actually pin that video up the top of the comment section. Then they brought out the Tinkaton, which I found pretty funny, right? Because this is it's a pretty good Pokemon for my team, being a Fairy type. So I would have loved to have hit this with a Fire Blast at Terra Fire. I was like, man, I could take out 5 Pokemon. Let's just do it anyway. So I went for Fire Blast. I wanted to see how much it would have done. I was like, yeah, I think the Terra Blast Fire would have taken that out. So then they went for Flash Cannon. I'm like, what the heck? So that's the end of Hydreigon 2. So a special Tinkaton. Interesting. So now I'm going to go into number 5 Hydreigon, and we got Stomping Tantrum. So we got that, and it's going to do some. All right, damn it, I didn't expect that. And then Stomping Tantrum misses. I was like, wait, that sucks. And then they went for a Player Rough. So I missed the Stomping Tantrum. Wait. That's Stomping Tantrum is also that had a Bright Powder. That must have had a Bright Powder, right? Because it's 100%. Yeah, it had a Bright Powder. So they had a Bright Powder on. I just noticed that. Then they used Fake Out, and I used Flame. I guess they had nothing to outspeed me anyway. Yeah, but they ended up living that. So I guess they regretted just going for Fake Out there, because they could have attacked me. So this is like Bright Powder, Flash Cannon, Fake Out set. I have no idea what that was. So then Tinkaton saltily fainted there, and their last Pokemon on the team was Dragonite. So I thought, all right, well, I've got nothing really to hit this with for super effective. I've got Dark Pulse, so I guess I can use that. So I'm going for Dark Pulse here. It does nothing, as expected. Now Dragonite is going to go for an Outrage. Obviously, that's going to drop me. So this is a problem Pokemon that I need to feint very, very quickly. Now I've got 2 Hydreigons in the back left. We're going to slide that in real quick, and we've got Outrage. I was like, I'm going to show them what a true Outrage is. So I'm going for Outrage here on the Dragonite. No way that is going to live, and that was their 6th and last Pokemon. Hope you guys enjoyed our 6th battle here with the Hydreigon Team. If you're enjoying the video so far, if you want to support the channel, leave a like on the video, drop me a comment. Last battle here, I have no idea what their trainer name is meant to mean. McValue Meal? I don't know. McDonald's? I don't know. So we got a Torkoal lead here. Now, this Torkoal's got that drought, and I've got Hydreigon number 3. So this is the Fire Spin Tri-Attack set. So this is like maximum salt, right? This is the salty set that I wanted to try and use against people. So they're going to go for a Heavy Slam Torkoal, which does absolutely incredible levels of damage. I couldn't believe how powerful it was. So I've trapped them in so they can't swap out. Now I'm going to go for Tri-Attack. I'm trying to get some, some hacks here. Then they went for Shell Smash. I was like, oh, here we go. I was like, I don't think they're going to outspeed me with Shell Smash because Torkoal's really slow. You know? I mean, it generally, it's kind of like Makago. It's a Pokemon that's got Shell Smash, but it's still really slow. Like, Makago's even worse, right? But I've used all Pokemon, so I know their sets really well. So I was like, yeah, I don't know. Let's see what it's going to do. Like, it depends if they're running, like, sweeping EVs. So I went for Tri-Attack, and I still outspeed here, and Torkoal's going to fade. So that was a pretty salty start for the opponent there, getting completely countered and trapped in. Now, speaking of which, we got a Toxapex here, my favorite Pokemon, the most exciting Pokemon in the universe, right? So we've got Sub. I was like, I bet you're just going to go for Toxic right away, right? So let's go for the Sub here. I know what they're going to do. And they went for the Toxic. So I'm like, okay, good. You know, played like a fiddle. Perfect. So now I thought, how can I make them salty with this set? So I thought, let's go for Tri-Attack. Maybe I can get a Paralyze or a Freeze here. So I got that damage off, and obviously it's not going to do a lot. So they've got Venoshock. I'm like, oh, okay, so maybe it's a Merciless set, or maybe it's a stalling set, but they've got the Toxic and the Venoshock for more base power, right? Regardless, Venoshock is going to be like a 2 to 3 hit KO just to break my Sub. So I'm going for Fire Spin here, so I'm not going to allow them to swap out, because I don't want them to get Regenerator if they do have it, right? Most Toxapex in singles will have Regenerator as well. So they're going to go for Venoshock on my Hydreigon. This is going to be enough to break my Sub, which is perfectly fine. And I thought, I either go for Sub here, or I go for Tri-Attack again, because they may try and go for a second Toxic, but maybe they'll predict that and go for Venoshock again. But what's the worst thing that can happen? I'll go for Sub and I'll take the next Venoshock. You know, that's the worst thing that happens. So it's not a bad outcome anyway. So I'm going to throw the Sub up. They're going to go for the Venoshock, which is fine. I guess they didn't want to risk using any more Toxics against a substituting Pokemon, which is fair enough. You know, pretty common sense there. So we're still doing good damage from Fire Spin, which is good. Now, the item I've got on my Hydreigon is Grip Claw, right? What Grip Claw does, it makes trapping moves last 7 turns. So you'll notice it lasts a lot longer than usual. So the idea is that it's not bad against these stalling Pokemon. Even if you're not doing a lot of damage, 7 turns of Fire Spin and the damage at the end, plus a few Tri-Attacks thrown, it does a lot of damage. You can feint most Pokemon easily with that. The only thing is to say if a Pokemon has Recover, like Toxapex. So I thought, at this stage, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to straight attack them, right? So instead of going for Sub again, I started to attack them. I just played aggressive at the end, and they started attacking me. I guess they wanted to feint me, right? Instead of going for the Recover there. Or maybe they thought they'd get out of this matchup and then get the Recover, but they didn't. They still weren't allowed to swap out here due to my item. So now they went for the Baneful Bunker, because now they've realized, they're probably like, huh, what can I swap out for? Why is this? I doubt they probably even realized I had Grip Claw, but now they're trying to stall it out, so their Toxapex can swap out and get Regenerated. So that's what I was thinking they were doing here, right? So they tried that. It bought them 1 turn, but still, it wasn't enough. I still had 1 more turn left for Fire Spin, right? And Tri-Attack feints the Toxapex. So now I've taken out 2 Pokemon with this, which is awesome. Now, our next Pokemon's going to be Skeledirge here. Now, Skeledirge is a bit of a problem. I'm completely and utterly countered, as they know, right? I haven't shown off Protect yet, but let's go for Fire Spin, get 1 damage. That's the best I could do, right? I knew they'd just go for Torch Song here. I was like, please feint me. I really don't want to allow them to get another boost, but they didn't, right? Unfortunately. So that is going to be, that's going to be bad. So I thought, all right, my best play now here is to go for Protect. If I go for Protect, that means I can get another round of Fire Speed damage, and then, yeah, then they'll feint me with Torch Song. I know a way to get around this Skeledirge too, and with, say, like 2 turns of damage on the fire spin, actually isn't bad. Like, that's pretty good damage, just using Protect. So I went for a double Protect there, but, you know, it failed. I didn't expect to, even to get that one at all. So that's another Torch Salt. That's +2 for Skeledirge now. I need to flank this. Even with, you know, even with not very effective moves, it's going to do a lot. And I don't know whether they've got Terra Fairy, you know, hidden there either. So I'm going to go into Hydreigon 4. As you know, this is the Choice Band set. I've got Crunch and Choice Band. Like, this should do a lot of damage. I doubt they'll expect this. So I'm going to go for Crunch here. Choice Band dropped. That was very, very good. In fact, I probably could have dropped that with a Dark Pulse as well. Unless I'm running like Assault Vest. But I digress. Next Pokemon is Ribombee. This is a top counter to my team. It's very fast. It's got Moonblast. It's got Quiver Dance. So I had a feeling they'd go for Quiver Dance here, and they probably got Focus Sash. So I thought, all right, I'm not going to allow them to do this, right? So I'm going to go for the Crunch. Crunch Choice Band, excellent damage there. It's not very bulky on the defensive side, so even with a resisted move, it did tons. Now they're going to go for Moonblast. I was very, very thankful that they didn't have Draining Kiss, because Draining Kiss really countered this team as well. For any of those sweeping Pokemon, it was an easy counter to my team, right? Next Pokemon is Hydreigon 6. I thought, all right, the bait has been laid. They're definitely going to go for Moonblast. Let's go for Terra Steel Flash Cannon. That'll be enough to faint them. Even with the Quiver Dance up, it'll be fine, right? I didn't really want to use this. I don't like to use my Terras earlier on, but when there's a clean counter like this, I absolutely had to use it. It forced me to use it. So we're going to go Terra Steel. And let's say if they do have a fire move or had Terra Fire, I still had Occa Berry on top of that as well to power that down. So here comes the Moonblast. Still does, pretty good damage to me. Hydreigon doesn't get its special attack drop. I was a bit worried about that. And here comes the Flash Cannon, and that is the end of Ribombee. So completely played around there perfectly. Now, the last Pokemon is going to be Solgaleo here. Oh, sorry, second last Pokemon. And I've got Dark Pulse here, and I've got Flamethrower. So I thought, oh, I'll go for Dark Pulse. Let's go ahead and go for that. It's like, they're probably going to use a fire move here, but they don't know that I've got Occa Berry, right? The PIMPNITE special. So Dark Pulse does excellent damage. Here comes their Flamethrower, and Occa Berry is going to halve the damage here. And look how little it did. It did nothing. So that was perfect. A perfectly executed set there. So now I can go for Flamethrower and feint the... I showed them what a real Flamethrower was, by the way. And then I took them out with a crit. I don't think that mattered. Like, that's the end of Solgaleo. So we've got one more Pokemon left. And this is pretty funny, right? So they've got their Glastrier. So Glastrier is going to get hit pretty hard by everything. I was like, let's go for Flamethrower. I might be able to get a burn against them. I think they'll still live badly because it's got some good bulk. But it's not very fast, and I've got 3 Pokemon left. So they're going to go for a Terra here. So I'm like, okay. Interesting. I wonder what this Terra is going to be. I mean, I got some good ideas what it might be. And they had Terra Ground. I'm like, are they going to go for a ground type move on my Hydreigon? So I went for the Flamethrower. I did Donkeys. And then went for Stomping Tantrum. And guess what? After the Levitate, they had a Tantrum. That's the end of the battle, people. Hope you enjoyed it. Peace out, everyone.